Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 18 of my 4-player free-for-all Age of Wonders 4 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing as Straelak Soulreaper, and I'm leading the human Hollowkin. For more information on my leader and race, characteristics, and specifications, please check the video description. In our last episode, we started our siege of Terran's throne city, and you can see here it is fully underway. So just to take a peek, we have 8 more turns until the breach, and we currently have Straelak and his group sitting here. Again, they are a little bit kind of in rough shape, so we're hoping to get, once we have a little bit more Imperium, the Shadow Tree upgrade that's going to give us access to healing within the enemy domain. And then if you jump over here to the other stack, we have kind of a mixed bag of units here, most of them in not great condition. But we do have some additional undead units moving in to reinforce us here. You can see we've got a mixed bag here of some Tier 1, Tier 2, and a couple of Tier 3 units. So, again, siege is underway. It's just going to be a matter of time. The only danger, of course, is that Terran is now back in her throne city along with a couple of heroes, and she's going to have time to just recruit units turn after turn here. So we're going to have to be very, very cautious as we, continue to lay siege here, because she could end up with quite a sizable army if we're not careful. So we may want to still bring in some reinforcements in the 8 turns we have until we're able to successfully engage the siege. Meanwhile, on the other front, we did win another important battle against Iska's forces here. She does have some additional units, however, that are on our doorsteps. We're going to have to figure out what to do about them. You can see that Iska herself here is actually leading one of the stacks. So I'm thinking we're going to want to engage them in combat here if possible. So we've got our mixed bag of units here, still in pretty decent condition. 2 full stacks and then 1 other unit here. So I think we're in pretty decent condition. The only trick is going to be we have to beat Iska here and then try to head out across the water to make landfall over here somewhere where her throne city is. So that's the game plan. Try to, kill off Iska here, send her back to her throne, and then send our units kind of wholesale and see if we can basically do the same thing we've done to Terran on the other side of things, on the western portion of the map, and repeat that process with Iska. Now, before I jump into the episode proper, I did just want to give a couple of quick shoutouts to a few individuals who left some excellent comments on the previous episode. The first of those comments comes from David Houston. David pointed out that in one of the most recent updates, they've actually introduced a feature that allows you to coordinate with your vassals. So I'm just going to take a peek here and see if I can... So here it is, Cooperation. Open the Cooperation submenu for the Free City. Depending on your relations with the Free City, they may be willing to trade resources per turn and any magic material that they have available. Here you can also manage war coordination settings with the Free City. So let's take a look. Immediately sends a new army to attack the selected target. So I can actually ask them to go ahead and attack Iska if I really wanted to. That's actually quite cool. So we can do automatic target, or I'm sure I can probably, I can say, let's go attack Iska, which that's pretty cool. So you know what? We might want to do that here. The next army from Sorcerer Assaults will be ready in 7 turns. If the target is set to none, then the army won't spawn until after a target is selected. Okay, well that's great. So I appreciate David pointing that out. We may actually benefit from some cooperation, strategic kind of planning with our vassals here. So very, very cool, and it's always nice to know I've got that sort of in my back pocket if needed. The next comment's here from Death. Death pointed out that in battle, I should always make sure that at the end of combat, as things are wrapping up, hopefully I've, got the battle in hand, and if I'm, victorious, before the battle ends, I should make sure that all my necromancers have used their revive ability, and if I have any undead that have perished in the battle, make sure that my necromancer brings them back. So that minimizes losses on my front. So just a good general reminder. That being said, sometimes the necromancers will have already used their ability in the battle itself, but still a good thing just to kind of remember. Death also mentioned that from this point forward, Dark Knights are going to be a really strong reinforcement unit. So I'm just going to jump over to Forndusk here. So taking a look at our options. So the Dark Knight, unfortunately, we don't have quite enough gold. But if we were to take a look at them, they are a very, very powerful reinforcement unit for us at this stage. So you can see here they do a ton of damage with a heavy charge strike. They have their Dark Surge, which, again, isn't always the easiest ability to use, but if I'm able to, it's a great one to do some heavy damage to units kind of in a 2-hex cone in front of me, and you don't take any retaliatory attack. Not to mention it does double damage if there's a negative status effect on the enemy unit, which a lot of my units are able to inflict. They also benefit from adaptive armor, artisan armaments, fetid legion, frostblade. So most of my upgrades are affecting them. Of course, Whiteborn. And so really, this is a very, very powerful unit that I think is a really good choice for me to kind of have as reinforcements going forward. And in addition to their kind of tankiness and their ability to deal damage, since they're cavalry, they have a little bit greater mobility, which makes it easier to get them to the front lines of battle. So all in all, I think Death made a great good job in highlighting the Dark Knight as a really solid reinforcement. Of course, the only thing is just the gold cost, which we'll have to kind of, balance with what we're trying to upgrade. And then in addition, Death suggested sending them over to start helping with the preparations for the eventual siege of Iska's throne over here somewhere. And so I think that's a great idea. As always, a huge thank you for the excellent comments and suggestions. Let's jump right into the episode. So, as I mentioned here, Iska does have these units here, but our units are pretty much out of their movement for the most part. So we're going to hold off for now on doing anything with them. I'm wondering if they're going to try and maybe make landfall. We'll see what they do, and of course, if they stay there, we may jump out into the water and try to engage them, because I really don't want them kind of having free reign or moving around. They may even be heading over to Silverbridge to try to link up and build some strength up there. I'm not sure. But let's see what else we've got. So a hero leveled up. Let's take a look. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so this is Umzish, and Umzish now can unlock a new signature skill, which is great. And you know what? We could reset skills, too, and switch out this Demon Step if we really wanted to, I think. But let's see here. We've got another upgrade choice as well. So we could go with defensive training. That would be great for her stack. Decreased upkeep, that's good, but not, incredible. Extra damage. More health for Iska herself. I mean, I think Iska, we've kind of been building a little bit more to be a fighter as a hero herself, but I am very keen on these support abilities. So we've currently got things like Sentinel, Restore, Resistance, Fighting, Defense. So we've really... Iska is built more for combat than she is for unit support. That said, I think something like defensive training would be a really good idea for her group. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll grab that, and then we'll take a look at our signature skills here. So we've got some different options. We've got Visions of Woe. Enemy units in a 1-hex radius fumble their attack for 1 turn. Reckless Rage. Plus 30% melee attack damage for 3 turns. Plus 2 Sundered Defense and Sundered Resistance. Warding Bond. Damage sustained by the target friendly unit is transferred to this unit with a 20% reduction. Virulent Outbreak. Enemy units in a 2-hex radius have base 90% chance of becoming diseased and poisoned. That's pretty good. Rallying Blessing. Friendly units in a 1-hex radius gain Rally, Bolstered Defense, Bolstered Resistance. And then we've got Draining Blade. Deals damage to target enemy and heals you the same amount as the damage dealt. I definitely don't mind that. Especially because that gives us a little bit more, kind of tank ability in terms of we can get some health back from the attack. I'm not real keen on any of these in particular. Like, none of them are just jumping out at me as being, amazing upgrades that I really want for a signature skill here. Not to say they're bad or anything, but I'm thinking probably either Virulent Outbreak or the Draining Blade. And this one always hits, which is kind of cool. Again, Diseased and Poisoned would be pretty good. Reckless Rage, that lasts for 3 turns. I think I'm going to go with the Draining Blade, honestly. Okay, there we go. So now that gives us a little bit of extra healing capability, especially since we're going to be using Umzish a little bit more offensively as well. So, let's see. So we've still got that skill point here. So we grabbed... Oh, I guess we didn't Let's take defensive training and confirm that. Very nice. Okay, excellent. So that's great for Umzish. Now let's see who else we've got here. Oh, fantastic. Sereth is now level 7. So we have an upgrade for Sereth as well. And again, I'm probably going to lean down towards these support abilities once again. Now this one's pretty cool. Target friendly non-hero unit regains its action points. Can only be used once per battle, and it's a free action. That's pretty solid. Golem Assistant, you just start combat with an Iron Golem Assistant. That's a tier 1 fighter. Restore, so we can give our units some extra health back as well. Wouldn't be terrible. Unholy Leader benefits all our undead. Let's grab Unholy Leader. Just a reminder, though, of course, that only benefits... Well, we got hit with a blizzard, it looks like, with Sereth, so that's something to remember. That only benefits our undead units. That's the one thing to remember there. Alright, over here we've got a Warlock. I really like the way the Warlock looks now. That's pretty cool. Very neat. Alright, so the Warlock, I think we'll head down to the water here to try to assist. Now, one thing to remember, of course, is that we're only able to field 3 stacks, if I'm not mistaken, in a battle. So, we aren't going to be able to get too many more units down there. So we'll get that unit into the water. Orndusk finished that Scholars Guild. That's great. So we've got, again, very limited gold, but let's see what else we could consider building here. The Monolith, now that would be a great way to get us some additional mana income, which, although not, a critical emergency at the moment, we've got pretty good mana income. It's always good to have a little bit extra, and this is boosted, which is always desirable. We could start working on an item forge as well. That would give us the ability to then craft our own items. Crypts, prison cells, Room of Recall. That would be great if we were to be unfortunate enough to lose Straelak Soulreaper, our leader, of course. Transmutation Circle. What does this do? Once built, can replicate the effects and income of a magic material. Counts as a mine. Must be built on acquired province. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I think I'm probably going to go for this Monolith, to be perfectly honest. Again, that does use up a lot of my gold, but I think it's probably worth it just because I'm just going to see, do we have anybody to sell? Oh, we do in the crypt. Tog the Hawk can be sold. Let's sell those remains, but before we do, let's take a look at what they are. Okay, we've got a half-decent mask there. Extra defense and accuracy. Standard kind of bow. I like this chest plate a lot. Defense and health, that's always good. Boots of Freedom, very fast movement, swift. Immunity to becoming slowed and immobilized. Unicorn's a half-decent mount there. Gives you a phase as well, which is pretty cool. Spider Hatchling Bell. Oh, I like this. It allows you to summon a spider egg. Or, excuse me, a tier 1 spider that lasts for 3 turns. Fire Breath, that's pretty solid ability. Now this one, Spider Monarch's Leg. Summons a random tier 4 spider that lasts for 3 turns. That's very powerful. And this ring isn't bad either. So yeah, we're definitely gonna sell him off and get all of his items now. And then we're gonna figure out who we want to distribute them to. So I'm thinking, let's take a look at Straelak himself here and see if he could benefit from any of these. You know what? In this slot, why don't we give him the... Oh, I'm tempted to give him the Monarch's Leg, honestly. Let's give him the Hatchling Bell, though. And I say that because I think I want the Monarch's Leg with my other heroes, since Straelak has an ability to bring zombies back, so he can create a lot of extra units to help him. So we will confirm that. So there we go. Now he's got that Spider Hatchling Bell. He's already got pretty solid gear as it is, so I'm not too concerned there. Here are other heroes here. So Sereth could probably benefit from maybe the Monarch's Leg. Now, is Sereth the one who... Let me just check. Is Sereth the one that has the... I think Sereth has the ability to summon that... Yeah, here it is. Summon Elemental. So maybe we'll give it to Umzish then, since Sereth can already summon a unit. But we could give the Wand of Fire Breath over here. That wouldn't be so bad. Let's do that. There we go. And then we'll just double check. Actually, for a helmet, this Mask of Precision would be an upgrade from the standard helmet we're already using. So let's do that. Confirm that. And these boots might be an upgrade. I mean, they are an upgrade, but they give you fast movement, swift. What does that do? Unit ignores the effects of slowing terrain in combat. It's immune to being slowed and immobilized. Yeah, you know, let's swap that out. There we go. So we'll confirm that. Just take a quick look here. We could swap out the unicorn, which would give us that phase ability, but I'm pretty happy with the current mount as it is. All right, so now the only other thing is the ring switch out here. Ring of Endurance, extra status resistance versus the Inspiring Killer and Vicious Killer. I think we'll leave those as they are. Let's swap over to Umzish. Alright, so we can grab that Spider Monarch's leg. That's good there. We need some leg gear here, so let's equip these heavy armor greaves. Ooh, the only thing is they slow movement. You know what? Never mind. We'll go with the standard greaves instead. Let's see if we have any other options for our main weapon. I mean, we do. We have lots of choices here. You know, I wouldn't even mind maybe selling this off, the extra bow that we have there, just for the benefits. I think we'll leave that Frost Great Axe. This is a pretty solid weapon as it is. We can also disenchant, which gives us, I think, resources that we can then use to build our own equipment. So, Ring of Opportunity, we could swap that for the Ring of Endurance. You do extra damage on opportunity attacks. You know what? I don't mind the Ring of Opportunity, actually, since we're going to be sending Umzish in a little more aggressively, potentially. So there, I think that's pretty solid. We got some good upgrades for our heroes there. Nice, and Dimtur finished that mint, which is, as you can see here, really improving our gold situation. So that's fantastic. Boy, that makes a huge difference just to our income, as you can see. Blacksmith and Caltrop Stash are both boosted. Interrogation Dungeon would give us some extra knowledge income. Masonic Hall would help our production situation. We're just shy of that 100 right now. Again, the Monolith would help us with our mana situation. Nothing really boosted except the Blacksmith and the Caltrop. So, I mean, the Blacksmith, having the extra draft is good if we want more units, but I don't really think we're using Dim Tur very much when it comes to recruiting units at the moment. So, I think what we'll do instead here is we will go for an interrogation dungeon. I think that's probably going to be... Although, you know what? Hang on. Before I commit to doing that, let's go see what we've got down in Redfjorn. We're working on the Merchant's Guild. That's also going to assist with gold income. Maybe unit production-wise, we could spend this. I mean, here's an option. We could start working on these Dark Knights. And you know what? I am kind of inclined to do that now that I'm thinking about it. So let's start one up here. We'll go for a Dark Knight. So there, that spends most of our gold. So there we go. Now we have to hold back. So Redfjorn can annex another province. The only problem, of course, at the moment is we don't really have anything... Don't think most of these have any resources attached to them at the moment. Just kind of panning around to see. No. No, nothing really. Yeah, none of them have. So I guess the question is, what do we want here in terms of boosting maybe other production? So, like, if we wanted to build a monolith, we would need a conduit. If we wanted an estate hall, we would need to build 2 farms. We currently don't have any. So really, I think at this point, probably just trying to get another gold mine wouldn't be the worst idea, but it doesn't look like we can have any more. So hang on, Masonic Hall. All of these just need farms. Oh, the estate hall does need 3 foresters. We could certainly get another forester going. You know what, let's do that right here. There we go. Alright, Evil Presence lingers. That's that Dragon's Lair, which I think we're sadly going to kind of ignore for now. We're really just focused on the siege over here, so... and I think that's going to do it for our turn, so we will end it there, but hang on. Before we do that, let's double-check our spell casting here. So, one thing we're working on is the ability to summon the Reaper, which is going to be our big Tier 5 undead unit. I'm very excited to get access to those. So let's just double check here what else we could do. We could do a Restore Undead just for some healing. It's not the worst idea. Maybe on one of our stacks it's a little bit kind of in rough shape. Get a Snow Spirit going. You know what? I'm not opposed to that, just having more units to help. Another thing we could do is get a Blizzard going. You know what? Let's do this. We'll get a Blizzard going. That might help us in the upcoming battle. Alright, we're going to end the turn. Let's see what Iska does here. We can pan over to her. Okay, so here, some of her units have made landfall. That's going to make things a little easier. We can jump over and try and take that stack out. I actually don't know if it's going to bring the units that are in the water into the battle as well. If it doesn't, that's a huge advantage for us. Yeah, I'm just jumping back over. So, our army here can move up and make landfall. This is excellent. So, you know what? On the way through, we might as well kill off this Arbalest, because why not? Let's go like this, and then we can engage the battle here like this. I'll do it manually just to make sure that, you know, no funny business happens. So I think this is one of my first aquatic battles, if I remember correctly. So let's see how that goes. All right, nice. So we can get in there and just charge right in with our Bone Horror. Good work there. Banshee, unfortunately, you know what, we could phase right over here in behind. We will do that, and then we can still hit him with some magic bolts for some good damage. Very nice. No one else can really make it up there fully, except I guess our Necromancer could. Oh, nice, and then we can get the kill that way. Fantastic. Yeah, none of our melee units could have gotten in there, so that's just a nice, easy little kill. And hey, a level up for our Bone Horror, that's not so bad. Very nice. Okay, so then this stack's going to just continue on down to the end location, which is to aid in the siege here. There we go. So we got 7 more turns, and our stacks are ready to go. Oh, I guess they have to... It just has to stay right there. That's fine. All right, so our group's pretty much ready. I mean, if we can add an extra unit in or two, that would be great. So you know what? We'll send this Warlock down that way. Again, the big upgrade we're going to go for... Ooh, look at that. Yikes. NPC Army of Marauder Guard. Well, that's not ideal. I hope that doesn't take on my Warlock there. Anyway, let's go up to our Empire Development. And the big upgrade we're going to want here is Dark Vigor. Your armies regenerate 10 hit points per turn in hostile domain. Excellent. So there we go. Now, if we take a look... Yeah, our units are actually healing a bit while they're standing there in the enemy's domain. So the longer we wait, the more health we get back, which is fantastic. Free City declared war on me. Who's that? Skorheim. I don't even know where this city is, to be perfectly honest. Well, that's fine. If they're declaring war on me, that's okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like... Oh, they are a vassal city. Okay, so they're a vassal of Terran. Well, that makes sense. Oh, you know what? I think that might be the one underground. Let me just go see. Anvil. Oh, maybe not. Well, in any case... Ooh, look at this. We've got some... is this here? Just trying to get our eyes on this stack that's out wandering around. Ooh, a Watcher. Ooh, they've received a bit of a visual upgrade from what I remember from Age of Wonders 3. Nice. This is a pretty cool looking unit. I really like the design there. And then a couple of Astral Wisps. Holy, these Astral Wisps are have a lot of health. Look at that, 102 health. Holy cow. All right, let's jump back up to the surface here. Okay, so here's the big development. I was going to throw a blizzard on maybe, you know, and blast this stack here just to help in battle. I wonder, though, if we engage this, I actually truthfully do not know if the enemy... I don't know if the enemy units will... Just bring everybody in here. Why not? I don't know if this will bring in the boats or not. You know what? Let's find out. Oh, it doesn't. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. Okay, well, let's just do this manually. So, Iska giving us basically a gift here. So this is going to be hopefully a nice, easy kill. All right, so this should be fairly straightforward. I mean, there's nothing fancy going on here. Just to take a look. So we've got a White Witch, Fury, which is a powerful bowman, another one over there, and a Necromancer. So, honestly, this should be pretty straightforward for us here. So, what I'm thinking, got our heroes. We can do our elemental summon right off the hop if we wanted. Unzish can do her Spider Monarch if she really was so inclined. Maybe we'll wait one more turn to do that, just so that the enemy comes a bit closer to us, maybe. I think we'll just stay put right where we are. We can do a buff on our hero. It's very nice that all of our units are now undead, because that just makes it so much easier when we're using our Necromancers effectively. And we'll wait to summon our Elemental until next turn as well. What we can do, however, is do a restore, perhaps, on my Night Guard over there. Alright, so yeah, let's just wait until next turn here. Okay, they're going to come to us. That's totally fine by me. Alright, so yeah, they're just advancing on us. That's totally fine. Alright, so here we go. Sereth is going to do her thing. Nice, we got a Stone Spirit who can advance in there. Let's see, Quake, what does that do? Okay, we're not quite in range to have that be of much benefit. That's fine. Again, I want my, you know, quote-unquote expendable units here to do the brunt of the work. Ooh, an Ice Spider Matriarch. Yikes. Cruise on up. Try for a Frozen Web. Look at that. We froze them solid. Hilarious. Okay, well, that makes my life a little easier. You know what? We can even charge right up there then. And get right up in their business. Yeah, they're not in range for us to curse just yet, so we'll just cruise up with our Warlocks here. Necromancer as well. You know what? We can hit them for a little bit of damage. Sure, why not? If we land it, which we didn't, but that's fine. There's a little bit. Inflict some debuffs. Sure, why not? Meanwhile, on this side of things, I'm happy to just let my units sit back and, like I said, let the heavy lifting be done by my summoned unit. So we'll just let that proceed. Again, there's no sense in my units taking any extra damage if they don't have to. So, okay, there we go. Our big boy taking some punishment, but that's, like I said, totally fine. Really not a concern at all for me. All right, meanwhile, over here, nothing of any real consequence has occurred, so let's just get in there and start attacking. Very nice. All right. We can throw on a nice big curse here. There it is. We can charge on up and do some damage that way. We can throw another curse because why not? Excellent. Our Necromancer can advance here and blast for the kill on this guy. Perfect. Then our Corrupt Soul can step up and not quite get the kill, but we should be able to Shadow Step in, or Demon Step in behind and get the kill with our hero, which is more exciting anyway. Alright, so that takes care of that side of things. Now, over here, our Stone Spirit. Well, we could do this. That does some damage to everybody. Alternatively, I think we just step up and start beating up the archer back there. You know what? Let's charge in and get our other units involved as well. I mean, why not? Might as well just get a heavy charge going. There's some good punishment. Thereth as well can do the same. That said, I don't want her getting as far into the action, given that she's a little bit more damaged. She could do Fire Breath. She could do Magic Missile. Let's do a Fire Breath here. Oh, interesting. The effect went backwards, but it did hit the right target, thankfully, so that was a little funny. We'll advance like this. Get a Freeze Burst going. A little more damage there. The Night Guard can advance. We might as well send our Warlock up as well, for what it's worth. A little bit of damage. These Corrupt Souls can just stay back. Alright. So yeah, this is, I mean, again, this is all fairly routine at this point. So that side's already done its thing, so now it's just over here. The Archer's gonna run, do a little bit of damage to us, but that's fine. Necromancer's just getting decayed into oblivion. So we'll charge in with our hero and get the kill that way. Nice, and then... Let's see, can we... Oh yeah, we can charge in with our cavalry. Fantastic. Nice clean battle there. Just like that, you know, we whittled down some more of Iska's forces, which is great. So, now we could go out and engage her in battle on the open water, which wouldn't be the worst idea. And I'm going to do that, I think. So let's jump out here. And before I do that, though, I am going to use my spell. Let's throw Blizzard on here. Just damage her a little bit, you know? Why not? There we go. Everybody's coming into this one. Now, because we're in on the open ocean, some of our spells won't be able to be effective, like our one that gives us the zombies from the dead bodies on the battlefield. All right. Let's see here. So, Sereth, again, not in the best condition, so we definitely want to keep her back. Umzish, again, we're going to want to use our... Oh, you can't use the Matriarch when you're in a transport. Okay, but we can summon our Elemental. That's good. So we'll do that next turn. Sereth here, why don't we just throw a Restore onto our most damaged unit in this little group. And you know what? I'm happy to just let them come to us. You know, I think that's fine. We can put our Snow Spirit up front. And it would be nice with Sereth to have Restore, actually. Wouldn't hate that. Our Dark Knight can move up. Warlock is going to be able to just curse them eventually. And then, yeah, we will just hang out. Before, though, we end the turn, what we should do, probably, is maybe advance with a few of our units over on this side, just so that we are not completely out of the fight over here. And our Warlocks will be in better cursing range as well. One thing that I am going to do, I think, is throw buff onto our hero. And then our Night Guard can advance over as well. Just get that defensive tactics going. Alright, and then we'll end it there. I'm going to use spells more in this battle just because we are up against Iska. Alright, let's see what Iska does. Oh, removed Blizzard, alright. A little bit of healing. Okay, so they're moving their way in towards me. got hit by Ice Coffin there. I'm not sure which unit got hit, but one thing we can do, though, if we take a look at our spells, we've got Soulfire. We can throw that on this group right here and do a ton of damage to everybody. I say a ton. I mean, it's not oodles and oodles of damage, but it's definitely not bad. That said, though, we could blast this Bone Horror, or we could just beat up Iska in the back there. And I don't mind that. Let's just hit her for the damage. Might as well just keep whittling her down until eventually she's toast. Here, we're not in cursing range yet, so again, I think we just wait. I am going to just advance ever so slightly with this group. One thing I will do, however, is with my hero here, I am going to summon a unit. Nice, okay, we got a Snow Spirit. That Snow Spirit can advance up that way. And just hang out. And we can move back in and just kind of keep our position. Again, I'm playing it very conservatively. I'm playing it very cautiously. There's no sense, you know, overextending myself, getting into a bad position. You know, I'd rather just kind of play it a little more, maybe more boring, but playing it a bit safer. All right, let's see what Iska does here. All right. Ooh, Blaze of the Horde. Okay, bypassed our summoned unit and went straight for our real one. I say real as in not the combat summon. Okay, we're taking some damage. Thankfully, it's our unit that has Restore on there, so it's just the temporary health taking the hits. All right, nice. Doing a bit of damage there. That's fine. This guy's doing a good job soaking up punishment. Which is definitely what we need. All right, so one thing we can do here is just stand in and strike. So let's do that here. Nice. Good damage. Now, first things first, let's do our cursing while we're able to. I think maybe, you know what, we should have cursed this unit before we attacked it. That would have been the smart thing to do. So we'll throw that on. I always forget to do that. That's kind of a oopsie on my part. Ooh, now here, we can't quite get the curse onto Iska, but we can at least curse this unit up front here. And nothing else really able to be cursed, so we might as well just follow it up with another one. And then we can use the Necromancer to just get the kill here. Perfect. Meanwhile, Umzish might as well head over here to assist. What I'm thinking. So we can do some pretty good work with some of our spells here. Yeah, this is pretty good. Poison Dart. Let's throw that on. Nice, good damage that way. Oh, and I forgot about this skeleton, actually. I started running away before I even remembered that was an issue. All right, let's attack here. Good work. And then we can get the finish this way. Excellent. Spell-wise, we could do a Soulfire and hit units in here for some good damage. We could keep going after Iska, which I definitely don't hate. I mean, it's nice to hit multiple targets, that's for sure. So let's do that. There we go. And then I think that's going to about do it for the most part here. Again, we could send our units in to assist, but Sereth is in pretty bad condition, so I'm actually going to retreat Sereth all the way back here and just hang tight. Really don't want Sereth getting in any big trouble. One thing I suppose we could do is move in to assist our summoned Snow Spirit, but I think it's probably better to just kind of play it a little more, you know, let that combat summon take up the damage, and then we'll just get the cleanup. Okay, a little bit of blasting there, nothing too bad. Ooh, shoot, I didn't protect my Warlock very well. That's okay, though. Ouch, taking some punishment. Okay, combat summon doing a great job tanking that damage. Alright, well, Iska is now in range for us to go in and start wailing on, which is good for us. So, first thing I might do is just advance in here like this. Gonna move up. Ooh, no line of sight, huh? Okay. We'll go like this and get some magic bolts going. And I don't think, do we have... Oh, nice. We do have eyes there on. Nice. Okay, we got some weaken on there. That's what we were waiting for. We can land a hit there. Get that regeneration going, which is helpful. And then we can step up. Get some good damage there. Fortunately, we grazed him. I was hoping for a little bit more than that, but that's all right. Now, with Umzish, it would probably be good to move in there and try to help our poor snow spirit that's in here. I think probably we'll go like this. There we go. And then we can hit him from behind here. You know what? Let's throw a spell on while we're at it. Nice. There we go. Good kill. Good flank here. Very good. We definitely want to get rid of this guy, so let's make that happen right here. Fantastic. Our Dark Knight can charge over and almost kill the White Witch. Just trying to see what would be best here. This guy can hit the Corrupt Soul. Our Warlock can blast the Corrupt Soul. Dark Knight can go either way. Let's go over here with the Dark Knight then. Nice, really good damage. You know what? The Snow Spirit, we could even just step up and get the finish on the White Witch there if we really wanted. Okay, we'll step up and do some weakening if we can. Very good. Like I said, Umzish, I think we're going to just cruise around behind. A nice big flank shot. Good damage. Cruise in with our Corrupt Soul and do some work. Not quite able to get the kill, really, but if we were to step up, we can get the finish there. Wonderful. And this Corrupt Soul can just move up to assist. I think that's pretty good. Now we just have our Necromancer, and I think it probably is wise to have the Necromancer assist over on this side. And Sereth can just stay back. Ouch, we got hit by that fire breath over there. Alright, my combat summon disappeared, I think. Which is fine, that's kind of expected, of course. It hits its time limit. Throw that Sundering Curse on to start. And then we can just step in and get the finish here. Wonderful. Alright, and now we just have to finish off Iska. Should be able to do that with a combination of attacks here. So we'll just do some Sundering Curses. Excellent. And then the Corrupt Soul can get the finish. Wonderful. Nice and clean there. Really good battle. Nobody died, and we sent Iska back into the Void, which is a big deal. So, there you can see, has withdrawn to the Astral Void. Got production choices in Dim Tur, but let's jump back here. So I'm thinking what we might want to do is just take another, one more turn to just heal up a little bit more before we go crazy. We did take some punishment, so I know we keep saying that, but I think it's worth just maybe taking one more turn to heal up a little bit. Umzish's squad will be basically full health, and Sereth will be not quite full health, but pretty close. Sereth herself will be a little bit fragile, but that's all right. So I think next turn we will proceed across the ocean here. Again, that was a pretty heavy blow we just dealt. We killed off a lot of units there, so I don't think they're going to recover from that, immediately. All right, so orders required. We're going to chill where we are. That's fine. And as I said, this group's going to just hang out. So now we're going to just have to sort of play the waiting game. Dimtur's production. You know, really, I think I'm just going to hold off on worrying about producing anything there at the moment. I think instead what I'm going to do is focus on Forndusk and Redfjorn, because they are the ones on kind of the front lines here. So, in Redfjorn, you know what? Let's get a Dark Knight going as well. And I think we can also get a spell going while we're at it. Well, you know, maybe this is a good time to use Restore Undead. Like, okay, we could do this, and we could throw it onto our stack here. Yeah, let's do that. You know what? That helped a lot. That Sereth is now a bit healthier. I'm definitely feeling a little better about it now. So, yeah, that's great. Now we're a little more prepared for next turn. And we could do it again, I suppose, if we needed to. But for now, I think then we're in really good shape. We'll have the Reaper in 2 turns, so we're just going to wait on that. So then in the meantime, why don't we just do another Snow Spirit, maybe? Get another one going. But yeah, that's a really good... I think that's really good progress at this stage. Just trying to see what else we could... Any other considerations at this point? I don't think so. The next thing we might want to also do is try to figure out what would be our next thing to spend Imperium on. We've got a couple of options. One thing we could do with Sorcerer's Solace is boost the Allegiance here. That would cut this down. And you know what? I don't mind doing that. Before I make that decision, though, I just want to double check. So what are some of the upgrades here we'd have access to? Cities that share a border with a throne city gain 10 plus, or plus 10% in all types of income. I think we do have a city that does. I think Dimtur does. Breastplate of the Champion, it's a hero item. Special province improvements grant plus 5 gold. That's a pretty solid upgrade. There was a good one over here for the Astral Tree. Extra combat and world map casting points. Now, with this one, we don't really need the combat casting points thanks to our Shadow Tree giving us so much of that back. However, the world map casting points would be pretty useful. What's this one again? Shadow Spying. Immediately reveal the full world map. Throne City gains infinite sensing range. Armies in sensing range reveal their numbers and allegiance. Oh, you know, this one, we will have access to it next turn. It's just going to take 500 Imperium to get access to it. Boosting our heroes wouldn't be the worst idea. Crypto Blade, or the Crypt Blade, I should say. What about our general tree down here? Cities can now build teleporter province improvements. Now, see, that would be nice to be able to teleport from one to another. It's a province improvement, okay. So, yeah, the only thing is we don't really have cities that are, you know, on the front line, really. We have our throne city that's closer to the front line with Iska, and then our other city that's close to the front lines with Terran. So I don't think being able to teleport across our cities is a big deal. Now, this one, though, Expanded Governance, increased the city cap by 1, and this is repeatable as well. I don't know if any of these other are repeatable. I haven't really ever checked that. But this one is. You know what? I wouldn't mind maybe getting our city cap increased. I could absorb one of our vassals if I really wanted to. Or I could build that city down underground I've been meaning to build for quite a long time. Anyway, I think we have to kind of think about that. So, you know, boosting this wouldn't be the worst idea. We would get bonded vassalage, so we'd get more material from them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm actually going to end this episode a touch early, but I think this is a really good place to leave it. So let me know what you think. What's the next, project on the docket for spending Imperium on? You know, do you think I should boost my relationship with Sorcerer's Solace, or do you think I should go for some of these Empire development upgrades? And if so, which ones are kind of you leaning towards, or which ones do you think would benefit me the most? So let's save it right here. So we'll call this one episode 18. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.